Welcome back to Dad Riffs, and today we're going to be finishing off Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You by Led Zeppelin. Alright, so we got this bridge section here. It's going to be an A minor, but you're going to add this 9 with your pinky. So it's the 4th fret of the G string, and then your pointer finger still remains on the 1st fret, the B string there, and you got your middle finger in the usual spot. So it sounds like this. Super cool. And then you go to this chord, so which is the same as from before. So you got that E minor with that A root note, and then you slide that down to this D minor with the A root note, open string, except you put your pinky right here. You take it off for the second one. And so it's just those 4 things it goes. And then it repeats itself. All right, so then you got this next section, which is a very heavy walk down. So last week I thought it might be going like this. There's an electric guitar that might be doing that. The acoustic guitar sounds like, and then you put your pinky right here. So it's kind of a blend between a G and an A minor. Right here, it's yeah. So you got pointer finger on the 2nd fret, and the A and the D are open. And then you got the F, and then to the E. And you can take your ring finger off if you want to make it a 7. Ooh, yeah. It's pretty cool, but if you take your ring finger off, it still works. Now you got the 3rd verse, and there's like a little guitar solo-y thing before he starts singing. At some point it sounds like he goes, which I don't know if that's right, but I'm just muting the strings, going down them like that, then hitting these 2 notes. And then during the 3rd verse, it sounds like he's doing this little Spanish, little guitar solo-y thingy, but it's kind of in the background and very blurry-ish, like he's kind of just doing some slurs of A minor scale. At the end of his run, I swear it sounds like he goes something weird like that. So you can just make up your own little solo section there. Just make sure that you kind of throw those notes in there. And then you can end it in your own little bluesy way. I don't know. During this 3rd verse, he starts throwing in that note. Very strange. So when the singing starts, he throws that in there. And then he uses the B string a bunch of times in a row. He goes. So he's just constantly repeating this note on the B string. And then at some point, he does this walk down, but then back up. You'll just have to listen to it. The 3rd verse is definitely the weirdest. Besides all that, you just have this amazing outro. This is my favorite part. It's super cool. When he plays it, he kind of just plucks it. Very bluesy. But I almost think it would sound more beautiful if you just hit the strings. So you got your middle finger right here. You skip the A. You got the D string, 7th fret. And then back to 9 for your ring finger on the G string. And then pinky right here. That's the 10th fret. And you're going to scoot your middle 2 fingers down, but leave your pointer finger and your pinky in the same spot. And then you bar the 7th fret, hit the same strings you've been hitting. So you're skipping the A. And then this chord, so cool. It's up to you how you want to do it. It could be a bit of a stretch. This is probably the hardest way to play it. But if you wanted to, you could just replace that note and just put it right there. And so you're barring kind of like diagonally, which is really cool, pretty rare. And so it goes. And then you got the open B and the open E on the bottom. And so he hits the B string first time, and then he hits the E string. And then he ends with a big fat bar chord with all 6 strings, A minor. Good luck, sir!